Hi everybody, this is Property with Leonard and welcome to another episode. On this channel we discuss property, finance and investments. Now please note that none of my videos constitutes as financial advice. If you're looking for financial advice, please speak to an accredited and registered financial advisor. Now in my first couple of videos, 3 to be exact, I've mainly discussed and given you guys advice on buying a property. But on this episode, I'm going to focus more on selling a property. Now, this might be very obvious to most of you guys, but there's still a lot of people who are not really aware, maybe not a lot, but there are a few people that I've come across that are not aware that they can actually sell your property, although you still owe the bank money. Say for argument's sake, you bought a house for R500,000, 500,000, you've stayed in it for about 15 years, you only owe about 100,000, but the property now is worth about 1.2 million. So you can actually sell it, and the balance between what you owe the bank, what's still outstanding, and what you're selling it for, that will obviously be to your account. It will be like profit that you have earned over those couple of years. So you can sell a property as long as what you get is more than what you owe to the bank, if you have a bond on it, of course. If you don't have a bond, it's your property, you have your title deed, and you can do basically as you wish. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to share with you guys 8 tips. If you're thinking about selling your property, I'm going to share with you 8 tips that I'm sure that will help you to make an informed decision and to give you an overview of this selling process. So I've got these 8 tips that I'm going to go through with you guys, and I have really found at the moment in the market, and I'm really basing this on my own experience in my own business, that it's more a seller's market than a buyer's market. And just to explain to you guys once again the difference, in a seller's market there is fewer properties, there's fewer sellers than buyers. I found a lot of people still phone me, and some of you guys as well, wanting to buy a property, but I'm short of property. That's why I'm making this video, in the hope that many of you guys or will forward this video, share it, or maybe you want to sell your house as well, and we would be able to assist you. So that's what I'm going to do and focus on this video. And I'm going to share with you guys later, and I will encourage you to watch this video right through to the end. I'm going to share with you guys the areas here in the Western Cape where I basically focus on and where I have the most people interested to buy in. So maybe you live in that area, you want to perhaps thinking about selling your property. And just on that point, you know, people sell properties for a variety of reasons, and there's nothing wrong with it. I know many of our parents growing up believe that, you know, a house is such a huge investment and such a huge achievement. Many of you guys watching at the moment are the first one in your family for generations owning his or her own property. So our forefathers and parents will always say, no, you don't sell it. But I mean, it is a commodity. You can make money out of it. And many a times people sell for various reasons. They trade up. Maybe they've got promotion at work, so they're trading up. They're trading down because the kids have moved out. And I mean, I don't need a 5-bedroom house and 3 garages having parking for 12 cars. You don't need it anymore. It's just you and the wife, or maybe just you left. So you need a smaller, manageable space. People often sell because of, God forbids, there's a divorce, there's death, there's a demotion. So I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. So there are various reasons why people sell. And the point is that I'm making is it is not a shame to sell your property. It doesn't mean, and many of us people are growing up and living in environments where people perceive selling as something bad. There's financial issues, and meanwhile people are trading up. It's really going, they are doing well, and they can afford maybe a better area, better homes, closer to towns, to the infrastructures, to schools and shops, etc. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through you guys and share with you, give you 8 tips that will help you and guide you, and maybe just ease out the whole process and put you at ease, knowing that whatever you're doing, you have these guidelines. You can always come back to the video, refer to it, and it should give you an indication on what to do, etc. So I have my list here with me that I would like to go through with you guys. But before I get there, if you haven't sold a house in, say, the past 10 years, you have to brace yourself, because buyers these days are much more demanding, they're much more tax savvy, and they understand market dynamics much better than what we used to a couple of years ago as buyers. And they mainly consist of millennials, etc. So you have to prepare yourself for that. So the first thing that I want to share with you is, are you going to sell first before you buy? Or are you going to buy subject to the sale of your property? Think of yourself. If somebody comes to you, you want to go buy somewhere else, but if some buyer comes to you and they still have to sell their property, because your deal won't be concluded at the end if they don't sell their house or their property, right? I mean, that's how many transactions down the line. And they are all always tied together. So the ideal and the smart choice would be to sell first and then buy. And now you can ask, but what if I don't find a property before, when my house registers into the new owner's name, and if I haven't found my own property? Well, it's one of those things. What you perhaps can consider is to rent from the buyer, or to go rent a short-term rent somewhere else. But it will put you in a much better position if you have the cash, if you have the your bond approvals, deposits in place, money's already been paid out from the sale of your property, and that will put you just in a better position to bargain and to negotiate at the place or the property that you are interested in. Second one is, advice that I want to give you is, don't just list your property, market it. And the difference between the two is, you need to take, that's why I said earlier, people are much more tech savvy. They look at houses online first, and what draws them are beautiful and gorgeous pictures, a video if you can, floor plans. They want to see all of that. They want to see the area, they drive through it. So you have to market your property and find yourself an estate agent who understands this principle. If you want to know if your agent is good at negotiating, I'm going to give you advice. The first thing you should do is tell the agent, ask him or her, what commission do you work on? And if they say, like I just said, 7.5 plus VAT, and you say, no, I'm only willing to pay you 5%. Why must I give you 7.5 plus VAT? Let them, if they can't negotiate their own commission with you, what are the chances that they will be able to negotiate your price that you want to a potential buyer? If they just say, yes, it's okay, I'll work on 5%, then you must run. That's not the person to use. Number 4 is, don't just test the market. Many people say, no, I just want to test the market. So what happens? The property is valued at, say, R1 million. They said, no, let's just put it on the market for 1.5 million. 50% over market value. The last thing you want is, after 2-3 months, now you want to bring the price down and put yourself into the shoes of a potential buyer. If you saw a house for 1.5 million rand, that's a completely different bracket. And now that same house, after 2-3 months, is down to its actual market price, its actual value of 1 million. Chances are 100% that you might not be interested in it, and if you are not going to pay 1 million rand for it, because you would think there's something wrong with it. Why didn't it sell? And why are they now willing to come down with 500,000 rand? So what you would do, you would most probably put in an offer for 750,000, and eventually the seller will get much less than if he would have put in the property right from the start at the market value. The turnaround time would have been quicker. He would have moved on a long time ago. He would have had the best possible deal. Number 5 is the first impressions of the house. Now I can't emphasize this enough. The best way that I always advise clients is, if you want to see what other people see when they see your house for the first time, is that go walk out to the street and look at your house in a way that you think a potential buyer will look at it. Look at it from that perspective, and then you will see the things. You will see that the garden needs to be cleaned. There are so much clutter standing around. There's dirt in the one corner that you can clear out. So first impressions definitely last. But point 6 is to fix what is broken. I can't emphasize this enough. It's small things. As a buyer, when they walk through, for you as the seller of the property, You know about the hinge, the kitchen door hinge that needs to be replaced. Light bulbs that needs to be replaced. A small chip in a tile. A door that needs to be fixed because there's a hole in it. It's small little things. Cracks here, stuff there, small things. But as a buyer, I'm going to use this example. It's like, I remember not long ago, there was a house that I sold, and in the bathroom, the geyser burst. So obviously the ceiling was, there was a place you could see where the water leaked. There was a crack in the ceiling, etc. So although the geyser was replaced, the seller never painted the ceiling, never fixed the ceiling and painted the walls, etc. So although this is not a big thing, I've explained this to the buyers. But you know, as a buyer, now the seller was a handyman himself, but as a buyer walks in here into that bathroom. And you know, bathrooms are one of the things that people always look at. Bathrooms, they look at kitchen, of course, and then bedrooms. But nevertheless, so he walked, the buyers walked into the bathroom. And I've explained this to them beforehand as well. But these are millennials, so they can't fix things themselves, with all due respect. They can't fix things themselves. So when the millennial walked into the bathroom, he or she sees the crack. So he's thinking to himself, doesn't matter what I'm saying, doesn't matter what the seller says. I'm going to take you now into their heads. They're thinking that whole ceiling needs to be replaced. Although it could just be fixed where the crack is. But he's thinking the whole ceiling needs to be replaced. And he doesn't know the cost of it, so he'll tell himself, you know, the bathroom is about 8 square meters or 6 square meters big. The ceiling is about 6 square meters. I mean, the ceiling itself, he doesn't know, maybe it'll cost 2,000 rand just for the ceiling. He can't fit it in. He can't take that one out. He can't put in the new one. So you have to get somebody to do that. I'm sure that person is going to charge him another 2,000. So that's now 4,000 rand. Now he's thinking, they said the geyser is fixed, but I don't know. I don't know. So maybe the geyser is not fixed. Maybe there's a problem with the geyser, although it was replaced. So he'll say maybe the geyser might also be a problem. So that's another 10,000. Now we're at 14,000. I still need to paint the place. I'm not going to paint it myself. So I'm going to get somebody to paint it. I need to buy paint, etc. So now he said for that paint, he budgets about 3,000 rand. We're at 17,000. Now I know many of you guys might think I'm exaggerating, but then you're not a millennial. You wouldn't understand. Millennials would know. And you millennials, please remember to leave your comments in the comment section below and let us know. You guys can affirm that. And while you guys are at it, before I go on, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it, and leave your comments in the comments section below. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. That way we will grow and we will be able to reach more people who you and I know can benefit from the contents of these videos. So anyway, we were at 17,000. So now he's thinking, you know, maybe the water filtered down, maybe there's something wrong with the tiles or whatever. Maybe I need to do some work there as well. So I'm going to just add, let's just say 20,000, add another 3,000. So to the millennial, it is to this thing, this bathroom, that crack that the owner didn't fix, he didn't paint, and it's just a small little corner. It would have cost him not even 1,000 rand. But to the millennial, the potential buyer, he sees things differently. And that's why it's so important to fix the small things that is broken. Number 7 is go clean. Just clean. Clear out. Get rid of the clutter. People like clean, open counters, open spaces, so that they can see what they can do with the same space and environment because they're going to buy the house that they are interested in. So I can't emphasize this enough, guys. Make sure that you clean before a viewing. And last but not least is that give yourself a deadline on when you want this whole process, this whole selling process to be over and done with. Now, just based on experience, once again, I know here in South Africa, here in the Western Cape where I operate most of the time, and I operate mainly, if you guys know of anybody who wants to sell in the Helderberg area, which is Gordons Bay, Strand, Somerset West. I also have a lot of buyers in the northern suburbs from Eersteriver, Macassar, Eersteriver, more towards the northern suburbs, Blackheath, Kuilsriver for sure, Bellville, Kraaifontein, Northpine, and all the way to the wine routes, which is Stellenbosch, Paarl, Franschhoek. There's a lot of buyers that I have in those areas, but not a lot of sellers. So if you know of anybody who wants to sell in those areas, please, I'll leave my details in the description below, and you should also find it right at the bottom of the screen. And please let me know, and we would be happy to assist. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on today's episode. Please remember, if you are a regular watcher but haven't subscribed to my channel, would you please consider to subscribe? You can just click on that subscribe button at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. When you click on the subscribe, please select the all notifications, and that way you will be notified whenever I upload new contents and new videos. And please share this video. Share it with people that you know are even first-time buyers. I've got other videos as well on the channel that you can share and you can watch. First-time buyers, but this one specifically for sellers. And as I say, I am really looking for people who would like to sell their properties, because I have quite a number of buyers interested in those areas that I've mentioned before. And I'll put all those areas in the description below as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.